Hi, Sally recommends books. Can you suggest some new books for me?
All right, new books are here. Hello, welcome to Ixima New Books Arrive. Today, the book we bring to you is Medieval Animal Pictorial from Shanghai Academy of Social Sciences Press. If I could only use one sentence to evaluate this book, I'd say the Medieval Animal Pictorial is a visually stunning book. And so, specifically, what makes it so appealing? First, it's naturally about the looks. Whether it's the black velvet cover with gold foil patterns or the multiple full-color illustrations inside, this book has been crafted into a highly visually impactful work, rich in medieval mystique and vibrant pictorial colors. This is the most immediately appealing aspect. Secondly, appealing also refers to its inner qualities. The content is both brilliant and easy to read. Now, let's dive into the highlights of this book. First off, animal pictorials were actually a unique medieval genre. They were popular in England and France during the 12th and 13th centuries. They mainly describe animal characteristics like appearance, behavior, habits, and human relationships to convey moral, ethical, or religious teachings. But these traits aren't all real. Some are imagined, even fantastical. For example, when the pictorial mentions the fox, it says it doesn't walk straight but always circles around. Thus, it's thought the fox is cunning and deceitful, like criminals, always scheming and ignoring true faith. Another example, the rooster's crow is believed to dispel evil, symbolizing victory and vigilance. So, many authors compared the rooster to monks or priests, and early Christianity adorned church bell towers with rooster images. In short, viewing animal pictorials is the easiest way to grasp medieval thinking. The second highlight is over 100 color illustrations featuring animals, all sourced from classic manuscripts in museums and libraries worldwide. But they present a colorful medieval world, shifting common perceptions of the era. This colorfulness isn't just about vibrant hues, but also diverse expressions. Here, familiar animals take on different forms. Lions gleaming gold, wearing crowns, leopards vibrant with color, exhaling fragrance, wild geese standing out, hanging upside down on golden branches.
And those legendary animals showcase medieval people's whimsy. Earth-shaking dragons, beautiful yet dangerous mermaids, and pure, kind unicorns.
Even scary snakes and insects become dazzlingly colorful. Plus, medieval paintings followed the era's habits, not aiming for realism or life sketches. So, many animals need identification and inference, and it's fairly easy to judge. For example, if it has a mane and tail, it's a male lion. If it has tusks and spines on its back, it's a wild boar. Female lions lack manes. Domestic pigs have no tusks, and so on. Slightly trickier cases rely on conventional wisdom to infer. For instance, if its claws grip stones, it's a crane. If it holds a nail or horseshoe in its beak, it's an ostrich. The most fascinating part is reasoning through chains of features. For example, in the pictorial, a cat's front view resembles a leopard or other feline. The side view looks like a squirrel or monkey, with identical sitting postures and raised tails. Its front paws cradle some round object. The difference is, squirrels hold hazelnuts, monkeys hold nuts, and cats hold balls. This helps us quickly recognize it as a cat, with a mouse nearby. But mice are rarely drawn realistically. How do we spot it as a mouse? That depends on it holding or about to steal cheese. In short, cheese means it's a mouse. A mouse means there's a cat close by. Beyond that, the medieval animal pictorial isn't a flashy or superficial album. Its rich, solid content is the third highlight. The author, Michel Pastoureau, is a French historian specializing in the Middle Ages. He integrates medieval zoological ideas, dividing animals into 5 groups: wild quadrupeds, domestic quadrupeds, birds, fish, and aquatic life, snakes and insects, covering over 60 species. At first glance, this method seems similar to today's classifications, but it's actually quite different. For example, we see weasels and foxes classified as domestic animals, while roosters are grouped with birds. You might think medieval people were ignorant. However, thinking that way You're falling into the fallacy of judging the past by present standards. As the book reminds readers early on, medieval zoology has its uniqueness and can't be understood with modern views, values, or knowledge. And in the realms of intellectual and cultural history, insisting on scientific correctness is not only detestable, but also the source of much confusion, error, and absurdity. And so, to better understand how animal pictorial authors discussed each species, we must place their arguments in historical context rather than mock ancient knowledge with modern perspectives. We know, of course, this book isn't a tedious scientific lecture. It's full of lively, engaging content. From describing animals' physical traits to exploring meanings medieval people assigned them, Pastero wrote an independent biography for each animal. For example, ancient Greeks saw deer as timid, impure creatures, so deer hunting brought neither glory nor joy. Deer hunting was always left to country folk. But in the Middle Ages, Christianity sanctified deer hunting as purer. Compared to bloody boar or bear hunts, deer hunting became noble and popular. Wolves, too, appeared in animal pictorials, often as laughable figures in medieval tales. The foolish wolf got tricked by foxes, scolded by lions, mocked by animals, and chased by villagers who cut off its tail. Even more fascinating, a medieval author created the animal pictorial of love, using animal traits to discuss romance and courtship, where wolves symbolized lovesickness. He noted, "If you see the wolf first unseen, it loses all courage. But if the wolf spots you first, you're struck speechless, just like in love, mutual affection." If a man senses a woman's interest through her behavior and cleverly gets her to admit it, she loses power to refuse. Such vivid stories abound, perfect as bedtime tales or light-hearted escapes. That concludes our introduction to medieval animal pictorial. Thanks for listening. Till next time, new books arrived. Produced by Sally Recommends Books with global publishers, bringing fresh literary experiences.